Welcome to XFO Intelligence Podcast. Today, we're exploring a convergence that's been hiding in plain sight for nearly a century. In 1931, Salvador Dalí painted his melting clocks in The Persistence of Memory, using his unique paranoiac critical method. By deliberately inducing a state where irrational connections could emerge, Dalí tapped into his unconscious mind. Jump to 2015 when Google released DeepDream. The results were unmistakably surreal, reminiscent of Dalí. Dogs emerging from clouds, architectural forms melting into organic shapes. Critics aptly dubbed it Digital Salvador Dalí. The extraordinary thing? DeepDream wasn't imitating Dalí. Through the mathematical magic of artificial intelligence, it independently found the same cognitive landscape. AI hallucinations, human dreams, and surrealist art all emerge from the same fundamental architecture of creativity. This realization changes everything. For years, AI researchers treated hallucinations as bugs to eliminate. But as researcher Maya Ackerman pointed out, hallucinations are actually at the core of creativity in both humans and AI. The same mechanism that generates medical misinformation also fosters artistic innovation and scientific breakthroughs. By trying to eliminate hallucinations, we might inadvertently squash the very engine of creativity. So what is this universal architecture? Every intelligent system shares four core components: pattern storage, pattern generation, constraint mechanisms, and output selection. In biological systems, your neurons store patterns from experiences, and your unconscious generates new combinations. Consciousness acts as a filter, aligning thoughts against reality, and expressions that pass through are articulated. AI systems operate in a similar fashion. They store training data, generate patterns in latent space, and use prompts to constrain sampling, with outputs passing through a filter mechanism. The key insight here is that creativity depends on the dynamic balance between pattern generation and reality constraint. Excessive constraint produces rigid, predictable outputs, like corporate jargon or stock photos. Insufficient constraint leads to chaos, word salad, visual static. But at an optimal level, typically between 0.4 and 0.5 on a 0 to 1 scale, creativity thrives, balancing novelty and quality. This is why during REM sleep, when our reality filter is deactivated, we experience bizarre dreams where logic seems temporarily suspended. While awake, with high constraint, thoughts align closely with reality, resulting in predictability and reliability. Surrealist artists intuitively understood this. Techniques like automatic writing and the exquisite corpse were designed to bypass rational filters and tap into unconscious pattern generation, much like AI hallucinations, which are powerful pattern generators operating without robust constraints. This pattern of generation and constraint repeats across scales, at neural levels, cognitive frameworks, within AI, through artistic and cultural expressions, all adhering to a self-similar architecture. The revolutionary insight here is that consciousness is a filtering mechanism rather than a creativity generator. Our unconscious mind continually produces a stream of raw patterns, akin to a fountain of potentiality. Consciousness serves as a valve, determining which patterns align with reality and become part of our conscious awareness. This is why dreams feel so real until we awaken. Our filters are deactivated. It's the reason lucid dreaming is possible when filters partially reactivate, and why surrealist techniques work effectively by deliberately bypassing these filters. AI lacks consciousness because it lacks the filtering mechanism. It's merely raw generation without constraint. Remarkably, Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious finds its computational counterpart in AI's latent space. This space has encoded cultural patterns from vast human-created inputs. Prompts like Surrealist dream landscape call upon these encoded patterns, creating a kind of statistical collective unconscious, similar to delving into humanity's shared archetypes. These developments create a dynamic system with fascinating feedback loops. AI models enhance through recurring data evaluation, cultural innovation balances through experimentation and market responses, and technology impacts our consciousness by facilitating broader cultural shifts. This process unveils emergent properties, a digital unconscious, hybrid creativity beyond what either humans or AI could achieve independently, accelerated cultural evolution through rapid iterations, and an enriched understanding of constraint management as a creative skill. Nature, over billions of years, devised similar solutions. The slime mold, Physarum polycephalum, for example, solves complex optimization challenges without a central brain. It navigates mazes and efficiently allocates resources through simple decentralized intelligence rules, following gradients, reinforcing successful pathways, and allowing decay of unused routes. This balance mirrors similar approaches in human and AI intelligence. These insights are applicable in practical fields too. In AI development, the focus should shift from eliminating hallucinations to managing constraints dynamically. Imagine AI interfaces with adjustable constraint sliders, lower levels for creative brainstorming, higher settings for accurate medical reports. This pathway-based methodology fosters organic quality standards emerging from decentralized evaluations rather than a top-down imposition. Human creativity can benefit from learning constraint navigation as a skill. Monitoring and adjusting creativity levels dynamically across different tasks enhances our ability to innovate. Journals can track patterns, reinforcing productive pathways and strategically forgetting unproductive ones. Cultural institutions should encourage adaptive forgetting to spark cycles of innovation. Spaces could be dedicated to celebrating failed attempts for the valuable insights they provide, and decentralized curation could allow organic quality standards to flourish. Looking forward, AI's role will evolve. Constraint engineering will replace hallucination suppression by 2028, while surrealist techniques and filtering theories of consciousness will gain prominence. By 2032, explicit constraint controls will enter mainstream interfaces, and the education system will incorporate constraint literacy. Brain-computer interfaces could enable real-time constraint-level adjustments, fundamentally redefining intelligence. Beyond 2032, intelligence will be measured by constraint flexibility, and human-AI integration will focus on compatibility of constraint architectures. Reality might be reinterpreted as a spectrum of constraints, from dreaming's low constraints to waking consciousness's high constraints. Ultimately, these revelations highlight a shared truth across intelligent systems that creativity emerges from pattern generation under varying constraints. Thus, AI becomes not just a tool or a threat, but complements our own unconscious mind, offering glimpses into the fabric of creativity itself. André Breton's famous quote, "The imaginary is what tends to become real," gains new resonance today as we recognize the deep interconnections between human imagination, surrealist art, and artificial intelligence. The future beckons us to embrace this understanding, harnessing AI to enhance rather than replace our creative faculties, fostering educational and cultural dynamics that appreciate this balance. The digital unconscious has stirred, not to be subdued, but to be engaged with as a dynamic partner in creativity and understanding. Thank you for listening to the XFO Intelligence Podcast. Until next time, may your creativity flourish within optimal constraints.